Welcome to the Rauta and Doom Death review episode. Today I will tell you a little bit about a band called Rottendawn. No, wait a second, Rottendawn. This one is a kind of a new band with some senior, let's call them pioneer, veterans of Finnish metal music, and the outcome is kind of a sort of a mix of death and doom. Rottendawn Records is usually known for their black metal, but this is, I tell you, quite different. So here we have their debut album called Occult. Those who are familiar with doom and death, symbiotic presence, know pretty much what to expect. One can even say this has hints of funeral doom to go with, so it's dark, it's kind of a serene, and well, it's heavy and dark. Now, these guys are no less than long-timers in the Finnish metal map, and they have been parts of many bands, so they at least have the experience, the guts, the name, the knowledge, and all that stuff to go with this kind of music. And this must have been one of the reasons why Rottendawn decided to go with these guys, because after all, Rottendawn Records is usually a black metal label, and I really must question the decision why to sign these guys, because unfortunately Occult is not really a strong album. But without any kind of attempt to slander this album, let me make this one clear. There are lots of good things with this album. One of them being the kind of a interesting dark atmosphere that makes this album feel like kind of a time traveling attempt to all the way to the 90s. There are elements that really remind me of the days when doom and death metal was just, taking their first few steps together. And as such, it's quite of a nice reminiscent of those times. But at the same time, I must also say it feels quite outdated. And one of the problems with this album is, in my opinion, that these tracks are way too repetitive. That is, when I'm like finished 4 minutes mark and I'm like, okay, we can probably move to the next song. Now, okay, nowhere near, we're just halfway through. So it seems like this is kind of overextending itself throughout the course of the album, and it makes this album a little bit tiresome to listen to. Now, the growling vocals are okay, and same can be said about the synths, which are not very complex, but just to create this kind of a vibe where it actually kind of grows into being something bigger, something darker. However, the riffs are not very strong, and this overall feeling is like it's quite mediocre outcome, because these guys have more talent and they have these nice ingredients how to make this soup, but in the end too much repetition kills the kind of the enthusiasm. And I must say, I'm not totally convinced about this album. Maybe it's because I'm never been a big doom fan, not even doom death fan. But there are a lot of better bands that can handle this kind of a mix way better. So this is kind of for acquired taste only. So this is kind of a warning. Maybe if you're a big fan of death doom, this will be your next big thing. Unless you go the other way, maybe not so much a recommendation. So there you have it. Rottendawn is out. Will it be your cup of tea? You will find out from the links below.